Okay guys, welcome back to part, what is it, 4? I'm losing track here. Going to give these a bit of a wash off with a bit of petroleum spirit. Best degreaser in the world. And then the great thing is, with, you know this, I know you do, but brake fluid, look, if I put manky petrol on something, the brake fluid chases it away. So then the brake fluid, what are you talking about? The brake cleaner chases it away, and then it evaporates to nothing, and you end up with a super clean, super dry part. Anyway, let me clean the rest of these and then I have a little surprise for you. Look what just turned up. Just in the nick of time. Check that out. So, little K-Tech stickers as well. They're obviously K-Tech ones. So that is a direct replacement for that. So apparently, the clever people tell me, to get these out, I have to drill out or machine out this little plug, and there's a ball bearing and a spring behind there, and then this, once it, turn it anti-clockwise till it stops, and then if you keep going, see that's got a thread on it, and then that will screw in there and replace it. And then they say to put a little blob of silicone in there, stop the oil coming out. I'm not fucking doing that. At least I don't think I am. I think maybe tap it, put a little grub screw in it maybe. I don't know. But first things third, we've got to get that little plug out. I don't know whether, am I drilling a little hole and putting a easy out in it and trying to sort of twist it, break it free and pull it out? Or am I don't know, am I drilling the whole thing out? I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, so I've just been doing a little bit more research. I didn't just want to fucking wade in and the wheels fall off. So, turns out that that plug encapsulates the spring and the little ball bearing. It's like a sort of top hat shaped thing. It's not brass, it's made of steel. A couple of ways of skinning it. You can drill a little hole in the center and then try and get like a self-tapping screw or something like that in it and wiggle it out. You might get lucky. Either that or you've got to drill it, basically drill it dead center and drill it out. And then this damper piece, there's some thread this side of the hole, and you can actually see if you look at one of these, you can see how it fits in there. So this section's threaded this side, and apparently these are a fucker to get out. They get stuck in there. Joy. I hope I'm not going to be in a position where I wish I'd done this before I'd Cerakoted, because I don't want to, oh god, if I scratch the Cerakote and it goes wrong and I've got to heat it and fuck. Please come apart. Right. So, tappy with my centre punch. Let's try and get dead in the fucking middle. Not even close. Fucking hell, Jim. Okay. Oh, and did I talk about this? So, I was going to put it in the milling machine and clamp it and do it that way, which would be a lot easier. Well, it wouldn't be, because work holding is a bit of a problem in my tiny little mill. So I've just got it on my fabrication table. I've just got it clamped. I've got a couple of V-blocks and yeah, I've got it just clamped down like that. Fucking hell, now I've messed my shot up. Okay, focus, focus. Yeah, so that's what I'm... Tighten that down a bit more. That's how I've got it held, and I'm just going to go at it freehand with a drill, because it's really hard to get in my mill and hold it in position, and I think it should be pretty easy to do. What I need to do is, let me stuff a bit of a rag under there and let that push down into the bench. Okay. Tappy, tappy. Okay. That's in the centre. Drill. So a new sharp little drill bit. Apparently, it's not that thick, this thing. So just peck away at it. It's supposed to be a new drill bit, it's not cutting. Well, it is, but it isn't, you know what I mean? Oh, that is fucking rock hard. Fair dues. Flipping heck. Let's get a different drill bit. Let's go, what do we got there? We've got one size down, 2mm one. It's better. Nothing more annoying than a blunt drill bit. Oh, I can see the spring. I don't know whether, can you see that? Probably not from that angle, but I can see a shiny little spring in there. What's the chances of it just... Yeah, wishful thinking, Jim. I'm feeling like... Yeah, I'm feeling like maybe a self-tapping screw. Right, stand by, let's find something. Don't think... Got a load of these, look. Don't really want to sacrifice one. I think they're about £1 each. Screwdriver. Is that going to start in that hole? Yes, it is. Look at that. Okay. Now, how am I going to get hold of that without marking the... I feel like I need to lever somehow. Long pointy nose pliers under there. Claw hammer. That's what we need. A fucking claw hammer. I'm fucking saying that. You know what? I was going to say every self-respecting mechanic has a claw hammer in their toolbox. I don't think I've got one. I've got some of my household DIY stuff in here on this shelf. Let's have a gander. Oh, look at that! I've only got a claw hammer. Don't tell anybody that I own a claw hammer. Right. What is the chances that that will just pull out of there without marking? Did it come out? No, did it? Fuck. It's pulling quite hard then too. I think it's one of those things that... Going a bit further. I think it might need heat, and I don't want to heat it for obvious reasons. Because of the Cerakotage. God, you're really in the way. You know that. Failed miserably. I've actually sort of pulled the top of the hat out. Is that spring going to come out now? I think I've actually made it harder now for myself to drill it. It was worth a try though. screw lives, put it back in its bag, ready to fight another day. Okay, oh god, have I just made my life more difficult because I haven't really got a pilot hole now for the centre. What if I go at it with a slightly too large drill bit, and you know what I'm saying, take the burr off. But if I slip onto that Cerakote, there's going to be swear words. Like that. There we go, look. So that spring looks like it's going to come out now. Coming out? Yes. I'm assuming there must be a ball bearing down in there somewhere too. Yeah, I can see it. Okay. Well, I was dead centre, so let's go 5mm on there. Fucking hell, the longest drill bit in the world. But it's a nice sharp 5mm one, so okay. Oh, I think I need air lineage. Stand by. Oh, there's the ball bearing, look. Not going to be in focus, got me focus locked down on there. There's the ball bearing. So I need to get that little, oh, I can see the bottom of it. Looks like I'm dead centre with a drill. There it is. Did I say, I don't know whether I said or not, because I don't know whether I said, but my plan for this is, not sure I've got that out completely. My plan for this is, because when that goes in, they say just put a bit of silicone in that hole. Was I talking about this or not? I can't remember. Anyway, my plan is to use, what the hell have I done with them? I'm going to use some grub screws. I've got some M6 grub screws that I'm gonna tap that hole out, put a grub screw in it. At least that's me thinking at this point. Okay, so apparently, but they can be really, really tough to do. I've got a flat screwdriver here, but it's not quite big enough. I don't want to round it off. Basically get to the extreme and then keep on going. Oh, something's happening. Let's have a bit of GT85 down in there. Come on, just... Oh, it's coming out, I think. God, it's tight though. Ooh, come on now. Okay, does that reach the end of it? Can I hook it without marking the Cerakote? Negative. I feel like I need to be able to grab hold of it with something. Pliers maybe. But without marking the Cerakote. Come on now. Out you come. Oh, I wonder. There's a little bit of that top hatty thing left in there still. I wonder if that's what am I trying to say? I wonder if that is, you know, there's a shoulder and it's butting up against that. Can I fold that in on itself and get it out? Tell you what, guys, having this camera, working on this camera is a massive pain in the arse. I hope you're grateful. There's a little bit of it. It's started to fold in on itself. Suppose I'm not worried about drilling into the valve, am I? Because it's coming out anyway. I can still see which bits. Oh, I see. Still haven't got all of that cap out. Oh, that sounded promising. Okay, it's gone. That surely, don't call me Shirley. Can I just poke that now, that way, like that? Come on now. People are waiting. Yes. You fucking beauty. Yeah, it was the... I need to unlock my focus. Can you see this shoulder, which has got the thread on it? That was butting up against the little cap piece. Okay. In fact, let me unlock my focus. Stand by. Get it to focus. So the little sort of, you can see the indentation. Hang on, let's airline it off. Is this interesting? Maybe. Bit of brake cleaner on it. You can see, let's get a pointy stick. You can see that's where the ball bearing runs. That's the indentation for the ball bearing. That's where my drill bit came down and touched it. So the little top hat cap thing was knocking up against that and stopping it coming all the way out. Okay. Right, I need to tap that out to 6mm. Give the fork a bit of a wash out. I haven't drilled that oversize, have I? I'm sure I haven't. Where's my tap? It's ready. Let's do that now. Yeah, perfecto. Perfect. Right. Let me wash the fork out and airline it to death. And the other thing I did wonder is, oh god, it's full of shmoo. Right, I'll be back in a second. Right, let's have a bit of a clean. There's a bit of a fucking deburr around there as well, and down in the bottom. Also, it's a bit corrody up in there. Sure you're going to get the angle. I need to... Oh god, now you've upset the shot, Jim. Go up a bit like that. I'm just going to get a little wire brushy thing and... Oh my fucking days. I suppose it is fair enough. I am actually using the compressor. It's Looks a bit white and furry up there where the O-ring for the valve sits. I don't know whether you're getting that. Probably not. Let's God, I'm doing a great job with this camera, aren't I? Let's wash that off with a bit of brake cleaner. Airline it off again. Looking squeaky clean. Let's just clamp you down there a bit so you don't move around. That. Let's get you a nice view of that. Oh God. Right, so the valve, where is it? There it is. It's got a little O-ring on the bottom. So got some grease, a little bit of rubber grease, just a smidge, a bit on the thread as well. So theoretically, it's all nice and clean down in there now. That should just screw in as we socket. Fucking hell, like I bought one. Click. Okay. Now my plan is to... There isn't going to be any oil, you know, because the O-ring is the other side of this hole. So I'm thinking I don't need to get too over the top. So I'll just use some blue... Where the hell's that grub screw gone? I'll just use some normal blue thread lock and just put my grub screw in there, and then it's there if somebody else needs to get that valve out at some point in the future. Okay, bit of blue thread lock. And this, I'll just cinch this down. Just going to touch the body of the... You know what I'm saying? Where's my little rat shit? There it is. So, click. Done. That is flipping awesome. I'm well happy with that. That is much nicer. Right, I'll do the other one. Yeah, what was I going to say? That's not going to be in the way, that grub screw like that. And it's on the inside, so you're not going to see it. I'll just leave it like that. I could, you know, you could grind it off, couldn't you, and make it look like the original plug if you wanted to. Because it's cinched down onto the body of this ever so slightly, it might make it difficult for the next person to take that out if ever they need to. Flat screwdriver. Oh, it's lovely and clicky. Right, let's do the next one, and then I'll show you a little bit of fork assembly, maybe. We're making progress. Okay, guys. I really don't want to turn this into a fork seal video, because I think it's probably long enough already. Got everything laid out ready to be assembled. A couple of things I wanted to talk through with you, because these are questions that have often come up in discussions. Wow, where to start? So, cartridge, right? You know about the compression damper because it's on the bottom of the thing. That's what we've just been doing. These have a... In fact, that shouldn't be in there. I'm just messing around with that, trying to think about how I was going to explain this. This cartridge, okay, has the rebound damper valve in the bottom. Let's not get into it any more than that. But there's a rod, this rod here, that slides down through the centre, like that. And if you look, watch me push on here, look, that's spring loaded. And when it's all the way pushed in to its stop, that's the valve fully closed. Okay, that's what this adjusting screw on the top of your fork does. Okay, these are old-fashioned forks. I know we're talking about a 20-year-old bike at this point. Things have moved on slightly from this. Right, when you're putting the fork together, which I will show you possibly maybe, you have to set this rebound damping adjuster in the correct place. Now, I've got this backed all the way out anti-clockwise. Watch this now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18. The click is starting to go away. 19, 20. I've got no more click. It's whatever the mechanism inside is with the ball bearing and the spring, it's come off its little indexing part now. Why am I telling you that? You need... Right, let me back it all the way out. If I show you it going together, it will make sense. So I backed that all the way out. I'm going to count in. I had probably 15 solid clicks. 1, 2, 3. So that's 15 clicks in. When the fork goes together, there's a lock nut and stuff that screws on here, but you'd be, and this rod is inside. Let's imagine the forks all together, because this would be the last piece that goes together. You'd screw this down, and I start to feel some resistance now, and the mechanism in here that's connected to this screw is pushing on that rod that runs through the centre. We wind this down till it comes to a stop, which it has. Don't force it, but just comes to a stop. You'd ordinarily, the fork would be together, and you'd also have this lock nut on here, and then you would lock the lock nut up against there. That way, if I back this out, okay, all the way, I'm going to have 15 clicks, aren't I, all the way out. So 1, 2, 3, back in. Oh God, there goes the screwdriver. You really got to want to know about this, haven't you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, and it comes to a stop. So that's the valve fully in. Because when you adjust suspension, the settings everybody gives you is backed out from fully in. So you go to maximum, which is a stop there, and I don't know, 5 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how you would assemble this piece and get the, I don't know, people fuck around and measure thread length and all that bollocks. What you need is the same amount of adjustment on each fork, and you need to know that, you know, you need to be able to get this screw fully clockwise to get maximum amount of adjustment. Fucking hell, am I murdering this? I think I am. With some bikes, okay, you would set it up in a different way. You know how I backed that out 15 turns to a... Because when I back this out, I come to a hard stop, don't I? It's like solid. It stops, it won't go any further. But if I go clockwise, I lose the click and it goes all mushy. It's often the case that when you're winding it clockwise, it comes to a hard stop. You're interested basically in where the maximum adjustment point is. And on these, I'm setting it to 15 clicks. So backing it out and then counting 15 in, then assembling it. Fucking hell. Are you still awake? If you are, well done. So, that's as apart as they're coming. Gonna be. What did I want to say? The bushes. You know, I talked, try and get the light to shine down in there. If you remember from part 1, I talked about having new bushes. These have like a Teflon coating on the inside, and when they get a bit of wear on them, the Teflon comes off. These look absolutely mint still, and when the fork goes in, they're lovely, and there's absolutely no play in them. They're a little bit of a pain in the arse to get out those bushes, because, yeah, I've got a weird looking long puller that goes down. Anyway, I don't want to fucking get into that. That's not what this video is about. I'm not changing the bushes is what I'm saying. So it's just assembly. Everything's washed off. I'm just going to put them together. The only thing I might show you is I might show you doing the air gap for the fork oil quantity. But the assembly process is pretty simple. We load everything up on here, so I'd load up the dust seal onto here, and then the oil seal and the washer, and shall I show you a little bit of it? Maybe I will, maybe I won't, who knows, surprise. Right, onwards. Okay, so a little bit of cloth here, just using a little bit of silicone spray. I have somewhere, I've got some, what's it called, butter or something, anyway, fucking hell, waffle. Right, dust seal first, just give that a little. Now some forks have, not so much modern forks, but they'll have a little groove, I don't know, for a circlip or something on the stanchion. Why am I telling you that? You don't tend to see it with an upside down fork, but if you've got anything sharp on the stanchion, like a little groove, anyway, I think, I made a fork seal video, didn't I, years ago, and I talked about that. You need to protect the lip of the seal as you're sliding. If you're sliding anything over, anything other than a, you know, a nice beveled edge, then just, yeah, pay attention to the fork seal and protect it a bit. Okay, seal, washer. There is a wire clip, but that'll just over there, so that's fine. And then these are all washed off and clean, like that. I'm actually not going to be able to, I'm going to have to move it, aren't I, because I'm not going to get my fork seal driver in. But then the seal goes in like that, and then one of these, I don't know which one it is, that drops in there like that, and then you have a little weight, slidey weight that you put on the fork and tappy tappy tap tap and tap the seal in. Then you put the clip on, then you tappy tappy tap tap the dust seal in, and that's that. So let's do that then, shall we? Going to be out of shot, aren't you? I'm sure. You still see that? Of course you fucking can't. I'm not doing it on camera. It's a pain in the arse. Sorry. I'm going to, let's try and do it not in the vise. So you understand, right? Tappy tap tap the seal in like that. It's all clean and nice and new, so it's going to go together easily. And then you know the seal's down all the way, because I'm telling you, there's a groove now for the clip to sit in. Pop the clip in. He says, just pokey pokey with a screwdriver. There we go. And then to get the dust seal on, just like that. And that's the seals in. Tiny bit of resistance, little bit of stiction, but there you go. And then what we do is, let me change the camera angle actually, because I'm going to piss you off, aren't I, filming it in that way. And remove half of the fork stuff off the bench so you can actually see properly. Okay, I've made a little bit more room. Although I have got to still work around the camera. So the next stage, the seals are in. Got to bolt the damper rod in. And we've got that banjo bolt, remember that from earlier on, with a new copper washer. Back in the day, in the olden days, you used to always put a little bit of silicone sealer on the thread of these bolts that go in the bottom of a fork. Yeah, don't do that with a modern fork, because, well, you've seen there's a compression and a rebound damping adjustment valve in the bottom. So any sealer in there could cause you problems. So I'm just going to drop that down inside, like that. I've literally got the camera between me and you. Oh God. Gonna... Seriously? Slide that up in there. Just literally jiggle it around. find the bottom of the damper rod, the cartridge rather, and screw it up. It's actually a bit easier if it's in the vise, isn't it? Now, with any luck, I won't have to fight with a holding screw. It will just grip itself and yeah. That's it. I felt for a second then that the damper rod was still turning. You can just feel perfect, about that tight. Okay, now then it gets more complicated. I need to get another tool, standby. So we've got the fork in this fork spring compressory tool, and I've got this screwed into the top of the damper rod. It's a damper rod bleeding tool. Okay, gonna fill the fork up with oil now. There's no spring, none of the other paraphernalia in there, just the spring. Just the spring. There's no spring, there's nothing in there, just as you saw it go together. Okay, there's a thing called an air gap, and I apologise if I'm teaching you to suck eggs. Most of you know this already, but basically the level of the fork oil inside here, rather than giving you a quantity, they give you an air gap. So you'll fill the fork up, you'll pump this up and down and bleed all the air out of the cartridge inside, and then what you need is from this top surface 78 millimeters of air before you get to the fork oil. And what you do is you use a tool like this, which has got a little pipe on it. Okay, and you rest that inside the fork. You take your unscrew this piece, you drop it in, and then you suck on this pipe with your sucky $5 machine, and it sucks all the oil out to a point where it's, you understand, it draws the oil out so you get exactly 78 millimeters. Apparently somebody was saying that it's not $5 anymore, so adjusting for inflation it's sucky $20 apparently now. I haven't been to Thailand for quite a long time, so I wouldn't know. Okay, so I'm going to fill that up. I'm going to get the air gap correct, and then you basically feed everything in. So there's a spring which has a right and a wrong way of going, not getting into that particularly. This spring isn't progressive. If you look at the coils, they're spaced the same, but it is narrower here than the other end to take this little cap. So you would basically drop that inside into the oil like that. Then you drop this over the top, this piece, okay, and then to enable you to screw this in like we discussed earlier on, you have to use this machine, which, see, this has got a hole here and a hole here, and you clamp in between here and here, and then you wind this handle on the top and it squashes the spring down inside, which enables you to get to that thread there where the lock nut is. I can't film it and do it because you're in the way, but is there information there that's worth having? I think there is, isn't there? Okay, that's me done. This video's got to be God knows how long. If you've got to the end, wow, fair dues. Thanks for watching. I'm amazed I haven't sent you all to sleep with this one. On the next video, I'm hoping we're going to have this thing running. I'm going to get the forks back in, which means I can get the front wheel back in. I can get it off the ramp. I can flush out the cooling system. Then I can put the radiator and all the hoses on. Chain and sprockets and rear wheel bearings are easy to do, aren't they? I've got the calipers built already. Put those on, bleed those. And then it's carburetors. And then we should be ready to run it. And then there's going to be a bit of jiggery, pokery fighting with the bodywork. The bodywork needs a really good clean. It's quite scratched and battered around, but I want it as clean as it can be, etc. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate all of you watching. If you want to join the Discord, you're going to need to be a patron. There's a link in the description. The Discord is amazing now. There's hundreds of really cool people in there, all sharing information, service manuals, talking about projects. It's a fantastic place to hang out. It's the end. Right. Thanks, guys. See you soon.